How we doing, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. We got some breaking news. Trevor Bauer has received a 2-year suspension from Major League Baseball. We're going to break down what that means for Bauer and the Dodgers. What's next? We're going to dive into that in just a second, but quick reminder for up-to-the-minute Dodgers news, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. I want all your thoughts on Major League Baseball suspending Trevor Bauer for 2 years. Give me all your thoughts, all your reactions. Do you think the penalty was too harsh? Do you think he'll win his appeal? How will this impact the Dodgers rotation? How should LA move forward? Let me know down below. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So we've got some big breaking news from Major League Baseball. The league has suspended Trevor Bauer for 2 seasons. Jeff Passan tweet out, Los Angeles Dodgers starter Trevor Bauer has received a 2-year suspension from Major League Baseball. Passan will go on to tweet, Trevor Bauer says he is appealing his 2-year suspension from MLB for violating its domestic violence policy. In every previous case in which a player was suspended under the policy, it was an agreed-upon number of games. Bauer clearly did not agree, and there is no settlement. Trevor Bauer, he tweeted out, in the strongest possible terms, I deny committing any violation of the league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy. I am appealing this action and expect to prevail. As we have throughout this process, my representatives and I respect the confidentiality of the proceedings. Passan will go on to tweet, whereas the settlements players have been credited days served for a suspension while on administrative leave, that is not the case with Bauer. His 2-year suspension, which covers 324 games, starts today and would last for all of 2022, 2023, and into the 2024 season. So Major League Baseball threw the book at Bauer. I don't think anyone expected this suspension to be that length, but also we're not privy to the information that Major League Baseball has, the interviews that they conducted, their own investigation. And if you've been following my coverage of this story, I've said the entire time that Trevor Bauer was very unlikely to accept any type of negotiated suspension because you know he wants to be exonerated. You know he wants to clear his name, not just with Major League Baseball, but in the court of public opinion. So I'm not surprised at all that he didn't negotiate some form of suspension with the league. And I think Trevor Bauer is also confident that maybe he can have some success with an appeal. But the Los Angeles Dodgers, shortly thereafter, they released a statement that read, today we were informed that Major League Baseball has concluded its investigation into allegations that have been made against Trevor Bauer, and the commissioner has issued his decision regarding discipline. The Dodgers organization takes all allegations of this nature very seriously and does not condone or excuse any acts of domestic violence or sexual assault. We've cooperated fully with Major League Baseball's investigation since it began, and we fully support MLB's joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy and the commissioner's enforcement of the policy. We understand that Trevor has the right to appeal the commissioner's decision. Now, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, he announced his suspension almost 10 months after sexual assault allegations surfaced against Trevor Bauer. Bauer last took the mound for the Dodgers on June 28th of last year. The following day, a San Diego woman filed a request for a domestic violence restraining order in where she alleged that Bauer assaulted her over the course of 2 sexual encounters at his Pasadena, California home back in April and May of last year. Now, the woman was ultimately denied a permanent restraining order against Bauer, and earlier this month, Bauer filed a defamation lawsuit against the woman who said he assaulted her. And also, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office declined to press charges, citing insufficient evidence. So Bauer, he's denied all these allegations. So to me, it comes as no surprise that he didn't accept some form of negotiated suspension. Now, Major League Baseball, they levied the suspension under the domestic violence policy, and under MLB's current domestic violence and sexual assault policy, Rob Manfred doesn't require guilt or criminal charges to hand down a suspension. Now, it is the longest suspension in the policy's history. The longest suspension under the policy had been a year for Cincinnati Reds reliever Sam Dyson that was levied back back in March of 2021. Now, the 2-season suspension will be unpaid. Bauer's paid leave lasted 99 games. While on leave, Bauer took home $28 million and was set to make $32 million in 2022, having already received a $10 million signing bonus. Now, Bauer does have an opt-out after this season, but if the suspension holds up under appeal, he will make no further money from this contract. So if you remember when Bauer signed that deal prior to the 2021 season, it was a historic deal. It was a new record for single season AAV, a starting pitcher getting that 3-year, $102 million contract. But like I said, if that suspension holds up under appeal, Bauer won't see another dime from the Dodgers. So at this point, really what it comes down to is Major League Baseball, for them to hand down that punishment, 324 games, a 2-year suspension. You have to believe that they feel confident with their findings, with their own investigation. But then on the flip side, you have Trevor Bauer that has emphatically denied all these allegations. He wants to do anything he can to clear his name and get exonerated. So this isn't over yet. I fully expect this to drag on for longer. But when it comes to the Dodgers in this, my first big takeaway is that their hand wasn't forced to make a decision on Trevor Bauer. They didn't have to decide whether or not they were going to suspend him or they were going to release him and eat the remaining $64 million on his contract, or try to trade him, or try to bring him back and have him rejoin this Dodgers rotation. So the Dodgers, they don't have to do anything in this matter. Major League Baseball, they levy down the suspension. So the Dodgers, they're clear from that angle. And then also the Dodgers organization and front office, they have some clarity when it comes to the financials, when it comes to the financial relief of not being on the hook for the remainder of his contract. So what do the Dodgers do? Because we know last season, even with the uncertainty of Trevor Bauer maybe returning in 2022, that they went out and made an attempt to re-sign Max Scherzer. They made the trade for Max Scherzer. So we know the Dodgers, they want another frontline starter. I don't think the Dodgers are content with this rotation, but now with the clarity, what will the Dodgers do? Will they try to make a trade for Frankie Montas? Will they start exploring potential deals for starting pitchers? Yes, Luis Castillo is injured, but they might still be interested in him. You have Tyler Mahle, some of those Reds pitchers that we know that they've said are off limits at this point, but will they start to talk if the Dodgers make an aggressive offer? And then also, what happens with Trey Turner? Because we know the Dodgers, before this season, they went up to Trey Turner and they said, hey, we're not going to offer you an extension. But now they know that they have the financial relief with Trevor Bauer. Do extension talks with Trey Turner start to pick up? And me personally, based on people I've talked to, I don't think that $64 million is that big of a factor when it comes to potentially offering Trey Turner a contract upwards of $250 to $280 million. But just the clarity and knowing what they're up against in the future when it comes to the CBT, it definitely can only help matters. Now, when it comes to Trevor Bauer and the Dodgers, it's definitely a situation that's still fluid. It's still evolving. I don't think this is the end of it by any means. Expect Trevor Bauer to fight this tooth and nail. But as of right now, Major League Baseball has suspended Trevor Bauer for 2 seasons. But let me know down below in the comments section. I want all your thoughts and reactions to Major League Baseball suspending Trevor Bauer for 2 years. Do you think it was too harsh of a punishment? Do you think that he will win his appeal? How do you think the Dodgers will move forward as far as how they fortify their rotation? Do you think they'll maybe pick up some extension talks with Trey Turner? I want all your thoughts on Major League Baseball suspending Trevor Bauer for 2 years, the longest suspension under the league's domestic violence policy. But give me your takes down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. For up-to-the-minute Dodgers news all season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.